You've seen it, right? I know I have. Good people who seem to get dealt a really bad hand in life. It's a question that can really make you wonder if there's any fairness in the universe. So today, we're going to do a deep dive into the hidden mechanics of karma to try and understand this paradox. And trust me, the answer is probably not what you think. There's this old saying in Thailand that just nails this feeling perfectly. It basically goes, show me where doing good gets you good things. Because I can show you plenty of times where doing bad gets you good things. And man, does that hit home sometimes. We see dishonest people just soaring, while kind, hardworking people are struggling. So, is the whole idea of karma just wrong? Well, what if the problem isn't that karma is broken, but that we're just misunderstanding how it works, specifically its timing? To get our heads around this, we're going to use a brilliant analogy that compares karma to two very, very different types of food. Okay, check this out. Some karma is like making samtam. That's a spicy papaya salad. The result is pretty much instant. You get your ingredients, you pound them together, and boom, it's right there, ready to eat. Cause and effect super fast. But other karma is like planting a durian tree. You put that seed in the ground today, but you're going to have to wait, 5, maybe even 8 years before you get any fruit. The action and the result are separated by a huge gap in time. And that's the key right there. When we see a good person suffering, we're only seeing their good actions right now. What we might actually be witnessing is the harvest of a rotten durian that they planted a long, long time ago, maybe even in a past life. We're seeing the effect of a cause that is totally invisible to us in the present. Now, this whole idea isn't just some modern analogy. It's actually rooted deep in ancient Buddhist teachings. There's a specific text, a sutta, that tackles this exact problem by outlining let's just say 4 very surprising types of people. The Mahakammavibhanga Sutta, which is a fancy way of saying the great explanation of karma. And in it, the Buddha basically explains that cause and effect isn't simple math, 1 + 1 = 2. It's way more complex with all these hidden variables that can lead to outcomes that, on the surface, seem to make absolutely no sense. So the sutta lays out these 4 possibilities. The first one, a person does evil, they go to a place of suffering. Makes sense. The third one, a person does good, they go to a happy place. Again, totally logical. But look at the other 2. A person who does evil their whole life goes to heaven, and a person who lives a good, virtuous life goes to hell? I mean, how is that even possible? Well, the Buddha gives us 2 big reasons for this. First, it could be that a really powerful good action from a past life finally ripens for the evil person, temporarily overriding all the bad stuff they're doing now, and the opposite could happen for the good person. The second reason, and this one is huge, is their state of mind at the very moment of death. If they die with a right view, a clear understanding of how things really are, it can send them upward. But if they die clinging to a wrong view, it can drag them down, no matter how good they were in life. Okay, so you're probably thinking, wait a minute, if my fate can be hijacked by some random karma I don't even remember, then what's the point of doing good now? Does it even matter? The answer is yes, it absolutely does. And there's another amazing sutta that explains exactly how. This one's called the Lanafala Sutta, or the Salt Crystal Sutta. And honestly, this is one of the most hopeful teachings out there, because it shows that we are not just helpless puppets of our past. It gives us a strategy, a way to actively change the impact of our old bad karma. Here's the analogy. It's brilliant. Imagine a chunk of bad karma is like a single crystal of salt. Now, if all the good you've done in your life amounts to just a small glass of water, what happens when you drop that salt in? The whole thing becomes undrinkably salty, right? The impact is huge. But what if all the good you've done is like a great flowing river? You toss that same crystal of salt in, and what happens? Nothing. It just dissolves. You can't even taste it. Your goodness now has totally diluted your negativity from the past. So this is the big takeaway. When a good person is suffering, it's not that their goodness is failing them. No, it's actually doing its job. It's the river, diluting the salt. It's acting like a spiritual life raft, keeping them from being totally swamped by the full force of that old negative action. It's the difference between choking on salty water and just taking a sip from a fresh river. All right, let's put all this together, the time delay of the durian and the diluting power of the water, and look at one of the most powerful and frankly shocking stories in all of Buddhist history. It's the ultimate case study.
So we're talking about a man named Fra Mahamoggalana. He was one of the Buddha's 2 chief disciples. I mean, this guy was a fully enlightened being, an arahant. And on top of that, he was famous for being the absolute master of psychic powers, a true spiritual heavyweight.
Which brings us to this massive contradiction. If he was enlightened, if he had these unbelievable powers, how in the world did he end up getting ambushed and brutally beaten to death by a gang of 500 robbers? It just doesn't add up. It seems to fly in the face of everything we've just talked about.
But the answer is in the timeline of his karma. See, in a very distant past life, he did something horrific. Tricked by his wife, he killed his own blind parents. A massive, rotten durian was planted. Now, fast forward to his final life as an enlightened master. When those 500 robbers came for him, he used his powers to escape the first 2 times. But on the 3rd attempt, he looked into his past, and he saw it. That old, heavy karmic debt had finally ripened. The bill had come due. And he understood that even his incredible powers could only delay the consequence, not erase it. So, he stopped running, and he let it happen. The story of Fra Mahamoggalana, as intense as it is really the ultimate proof that the system works exactly as it should. It brings us to a very simple, very clear conclusion.
So the law of karma isn't broken, it's just incredibly patient. The best way to think about it is like a cosmic postal service that has a 100% accuracy rate. It never delivers a package to the wrong address. The only catch is, it doesn't offer next-day delivery. The package might just show up a lot later than you think.
And that brings it all back to us, right here, right now, with one final question to think about. In our own lives today, with our actions, our words, our thoughts, are we planting a new durian tree, whose fruit, good or bad, we're going to have to eat someday? Or are we consciously pouring fresh, clean water into our own great river, making sure we have more than enough power to handle any old salt that might be waiting to bubble up to the surface?